Hi, I'm Shroomer1, not seamless, and apparently I suck major balls, because this is actually the third time I'm recording this. And I've made two sounds that you're gonna get. Well, me fucking up basically benefits you because you'll get more sounds. Okay, I've made this one. And I've made this one. Which are basically the same sort of deal. I'm gonna just explain what these do before I continue on making an actual new sound. This one is Wasp is making the sound. It's outputting a saw wave, or basically a super saw. I'm cutting the highs away from the detuned beating that's happening, and it's distorted with Wasp's internal phenomenal distortion unit, which is, I think, based on blood overdrive or something. Then it's going into Love Filter, then into Superfake, which is a free plugin that I'm going to link to in this description, because the manufacturer has closed down shop. I think the website says we're moving house or something. I don't know. So you can't get it at the moment, not through the developer. So I'm just gonna link it in the description. It's free, by the way. All the plugins I use in this are free. They're not all fruity stock plugins, but yeah. So after it's gone through Superfake, it's going into a parametric EQ2, which is the typical bandpass notch deal that you've probably seen Seamless do if you watch a lot of tutorials on YouTube. Yeah, and this is where the business happens, basically. The envelope controller is reading the value of this knob as modulation X, and I'm basically using it as a macroizer for these controls that I'm linking it to. So, for instance, for the Love Filters mod X, it's just doing straight up this, just 1-to-1 ratio. This is the bandpass. It's keeping in the lower half of the frequency spectrum to accentuate those low mid kind of wobbly things and such. And the notches are doing random shit. Okay, then it's going into an EQ, which is basically cutting away a bit of lows, keeping them in there, but not, but having them much quieter. And then it's going into Camel Crusher, which is another free plugin, which is available again, I think. Camel Audio have been bought up by Apple after they closed down shop, and I think they're offering it again. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll happily send you my DLL of it, but I don't know if that's illegal. This is going into a glaze verb. This is a plate reverb, a free plate reverb plugin that has basically very, very metallic qualities. And I'm sort of ignoring the fact that there is a dry-wet mix in there, because I'm making my own by using Fruity Balance and automating the volume of that. And I'm also automating the dry-wet on here, but apparently it doesn't go all dry when the wet knob is all the way down. So I needed to work around that. Then I have some EQ, I'm cutting out the sub because I have a separate sub right here that is creating some weird harmonics. And there's another operator going out, which is just the harmonics but detuned. And yeah, they go into separate outs. Okay, and I'm compressing, multiband compressing the top end. This is the first sound. Second sound, my phone won't keep shutting up. Okay, the second sound is a similar sort of thing where I did the whole sound creation, which is Citrus, an FM sound, by the way, just doing some sort of, I don't know if you've heard of the artist Disprove. It's doing something like what he likes to do, or she. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I don't know. Yeah, it's a commonly used Neuro square harmonics based sound, and what this is doing is the first operator is the one being modulated. It's going into a filter, which is a peaking filter. Then it's going into a phaser, which is barely moving at all, and almost no resonance, but it's being distorted. And then it's also in the third filter, I have it set to high pass, and there's just a bit of noise going in there just to create some top end. Okay. Then this is going into a loft filter, which is one of my favorite plugins. I never used to care about it, but it's actually really awesome. So this is just low passing. Yeah, just your regular low pass. Then there's a notch and a notch. And I believe parallel to that, it has some just a dry version of the sound. Just a dry version of the sound that's coming directly out of Citrus. Wasp is the sub. Just sine wave and some noise being distorted and going out into the same channel as the other sub bass. Okay, the main sound is then going into another parametric EQ too, because moving the bands around in this, especially at high speeds, creates artifacts that are very beneficial to neurosound. If you get to resample to the point where you resample a sound, these artifacts can create even rhythmic attributes in the sound, which you definitely want. So Camel Crusher again, which is basically set to the same thing as the other one. It's just a bit of tube distortion. Compressor is almost all the way up, but with fat mode turned off, because that creates harmonics, and it's not really a sound that needs those harsh harmonics created, because it's a very harsh from the beginning. Just to bring back some of that, some of the stuff that we're filtering out, just a bit of presence. Then I'm going to cut away the sub, accentuate around the typical 400 or 300 hertz cut. Just boost the highs a bit, make it go into another free reverb plugin that is set to almost completely dry. You barely hear the reverb, but it's coloring the sound a bit. And then I'm making it more stereo, and I'm not even multiband compressing this one. It just sounds usable as it is, but probably in the grand scheme of things, I would probably multiband compress it. So, this shouldn't go out to the master, by the way. It's a dumb thing to let it go out through the master. Okay, so get that out of the way. Yeah, let's make a new sound so you can actually see. This time, I hope it works. So this time, I hope I don't set the fucking noise gate on my recording channel to make the audio pop every time I say something, because that would be not so great. Okay, make another patcher. Yes, the patcher, and then start off with something. Well, the mixer to this one. Do that for that one too. Okay, so then we should maybe use this one. Use it this way because this way we can actually put the stuff right into Patcher. Just envelope controller all the way, and just, well, let's use something funny. You can't use 3x oscillator. Oh, DX10, yes. Fuck, you can't patcherize that as well. I forgot. I'm sorry. And special that Slayer. Oh god, I've never used Slayer for a respace before. But no, let's not use that. Let's just stick to our guns and use SimSynth. Ah, lovely. Yeah. Just make them all do the same thing for now. Turn off the chorus. Now turn off the filter automation inside. Because as good as this shit is, I've heard it a million times and I don't want to hear it right now. Okay, so make a control, make it beautiful, rename mod, get to X knob, create an automation clip for that one. Do all of the things. Use output because we don't need the envelope. And that way it's not being triggered by MIDI. Instead, it's putting out constantly. It's putting out X constantly. So the first one I usually just do this and make it go into. Well, let's not use loft filter this time. Just use the parametric EQ. So metric EQ, all fucking stock FL. So, not a bandpass. Notch, triple notch. Change it order to 2. Drastic, because there's no filtering done before. Activate. And link to individual things. So, first one is the bandpass. Should do this. Some sort of variation of this, because the main movement is in the lower half of the frequency spectrum all the time. In all the Neuro bases, it's mostly there. Then make one of the notches this. Make one of the notches do this. Make one of the notches do this. So, what does that sound like? I have no fucking clue, but I bet it's gonna sound a bit better than what comes out of the Simpsons. Naturally, that's a bit farty. This is okay. Okay, so modulate it. Okay. Not quite there yet. So what am I gonna do now? Not quite there yet, huh? So gonna happen now is I'm gonna try and keep it a bit in order, but I can't promise anything. What's gonna happen now? I'm going to distort it just for that wonderful bit of color. We need some detuning as well. Okay. Usually time for a bit of EQ. Just take away sub-frequencies. 150 hertz. Cut here. Do this. Do this. Okay. Got a hole for other mid elements in that area, especially the snare, which is going to have some sort of resonant frequencies in that area. So, okay. Sounds a bit flanged already, so why not add a flanger? Okay. Get to the macro. Sort of this thing. Okay, nicely done. Now, I think the notches could move differently. This could not move at all for most of the time. Move a little less. A little less drastic. The notch is a bit more transparent. Okay. Okay. What I usually do for those flanger sounds is that I add another free third-party plugin called Phasor. This is free at Adam Jibo or something. I can't pronounce the name, but it's free at his website. I'm going to link it in the description. I've linked to it in a previous video, I think. Okay. Yeah. This is gonna do us well. This is gonna just even exaggerate the sound of the flanger a bit more. Okay, so this phaser sounds really nice, and what I'm gonna do now is just gonna multi-band compress the whole thing, make it like stereo and make it mono in the lows, stereo in the mids, mono in the highs. Because using a phaser and a flanger makes the stereo image go all weird, and we don't want it to be all weird. We want it to be understandable. Okay. Just have it do this. And let it clip in the master band. Okay, so I think there's still some stuff to be solved in there. I think the cut isn't drastic enough. Okay, that's all right. What would it sound like with the square? Actually like that one a bit better. Yeah. Now it needs more highs. Okay. I think there could be a low pass, right? A subtle one on top, just a subtle low pass. Should just do something like this. Okay. As I did in the previous ones, in the previous times where I tried to fucking record this, I'm gonna make it fit with the drum loop just to hear it in context. Okay. Okay, so you get the point. I hope this worked this time. I wish you a nice day. I'm gonna put this project in the description, and I'm going to put a link to the to Superfake, this one plugin that I talked about, also in the description. And yeah, for the other plugins that you don't have, I'm going to put links to the developers' websites in the description. See you again sometime. Hope you learned something.